Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 53, we are starting today. Krishna kidnaps Rukmini. Text number 1 onwards. Shri Shukuvacha Vedarbhya Satu Sandesham Nishamya Yadunantana Pragriya Panina Panim Prahasanam Idam Avravit. Shukdev Goswami said, thus hearing the confidential message of Princess with Vedarbhi or Rukminiji, Lord Yadunandan took the Brahman's hand and smiling spoke to him as follows. Shri Bhagwan Vacha Tatamapi Tachitto Nidram Chane Labhe Nishi Vedaham Rukminam Dveshan Mamo Dvaho Nivaritan. The Supreme Lord said, just as Rukmini's mind is fixed on me, my mind is fixed on her. I can't even sleep at night. I know that Rukmi, out of envy, has forbidden our marriage. Tamaneshya unmathya rajanyap sadan mrite matparaman vadyan kim edaso agni shikham ivam. She has dedicated herself exclusively to me, and her beauty is flawless. I'll bring her here after thrashing those worthless kings in battle, just as one brings a blazing flame out of firewood. When latent fire is aroused in the wood, the fire bursts forth, consuming the wood in the act of manifestation. Similarly, Lord Krishna boldly predicted that Rukmini would come forth to take his hand, and that in the process the wicked kings would be burned by the fire of Krishna's determination. Shri Shukavacha Udvaharaksham cha Vigyaya Rukminya Madhusudana Ratha Sanjyujyata Ashu Daruketya Sarathim. Shukdev Goswami said, Lord Madhusudan also understood the exact lunar time for Rukmini's wedding. Thus he told his driver, Daruka, ready for my chariot immediately. Sachashva Shabya Sugriva Megha Pushpa Balahaka Yuktam Ratham Upaniya Tastho Pranjalare Grataha. Daruka brought the Lord's chariot yoked with horses named Shabya, Sugriva, Meghapushpa, and Balahak. He then stood before Lord Krishna with joined palms. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes the following text of Padma Puran describing Lord Krishna's chariot horses. Shabya was green like parrot's wings, Sugriva, yellow gold, Meghapushpa, the color of cloud, and Balahak was whitish. So 4 horses, different colors, and they were all brought in the chariot. Aruya Syandanam Shaurir Dvijam Arupya Turnagah Anarta Dekaratrena Vidarbha Nagam Adhe. Lord Shauri mounted his chariot and had the Brahman do likewise. Then the Lord's swift horses took them from the Anarth district to Vidarbha in a single night. So that's how fast those horses were. And Prabhupada mentioned in Krishna book that he went about 1,000 miles in one night on those horses. Raja Sakundin Pati Putra Sneha Vashanuga Shishupalaya Swam Kanyam Dasyan Karmani Akariyat. King Bhishma, the master of Kundin, having succumbed to the sway of affection for his son, was about to give his daughter to Shishupal. The king saw to all the required preparations. Srila Sridhar Swami points out in this connection that King Bhishma had no particular liking for Shishupal, but rather acted out of attachment for his own son, Rukmi. Puram samrishta samsikta margarathyachuth chatushpatham chitradhvaj patakabhis torana samalankritam srigandha malya bharana virajo ambar bhushita jushtam stri purusha shrimad grihara guru dhupita. The king had the main avenues, commercial roads, and intersections thoroughly cleaned and then sprinkled with water. And he also had the city decorated with triumphant archways and multicolored banners on poles. The men and women of the city, arrayed in spotless raiment and anointed with fragrant sandalwood paste, wore precious necklaces, flower garlands, and jeweled ornaments. And their opulent homes were filled with the aroma of aguru. When earthen roads are sprinkled with water, the dust settles down and the road becomes smooth and firm. King Bhishma thoroughly prepared for great wedding, setting the scene for Lord Krishna's triumphant abduction of Rukmini Devi. Pitrin Devana Sabhyarchya Vipransha Vidhivan Ripaha Bhojitva Yatha Nyayam Vachya Mas Mangalam. O king, in accordance with prescribed rituals, Maharaj Bhishma worshipped the forefathers, demigods, and Brahmins, feeding them all properly. Then he had the traditional mantras chanted for the well-being of the bride. Susnatam sudatim tanyam krita kotum mangalam ahatan shuk yugmena bhushitam bhushanottamah. After being bathed, the bride, who had beautiful teeth, was adorned with auspicious wedding necklace. Then she was dressed in brand new upper and lower garments and decorated with most excellent jeweled ornaments. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, only spotless clothing fresh off the loom should be worn during auspicious ceremonies. Chakru samargya jurmantra vadva raksham dujyottama purohito atharva vidva juhav grihi shante. The best of the Brahmins chanted mantras of the Rig, Sam, and Yajur Vedas for the bride's protection. And the priest, learned in the Atharva Veda, offered oblations to pacify the controlling planets. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that the Atharva Veda often deals with the pacification of unfavorable planets like Rahu, Ketu, Mangal, Shani. But they don't know the real controller of the planets is on his way. And controller of the, not the controller, the Vedas, the origin of the Vedas is coming to take Rukmini away. Hiranya Rupya Vasansi Tilasha Guna Gud Mishritan Pradadhenuscha Viprebhyo Raja Vidhi Vidambara. Outstanding in his knowledge of regulative principles, the king rewarded the Brahmins with gold, silver, clothing, cows, and sesame seeds mixed with raw sugar. Evam Chedipati Raja Dhamma Ghosha Sutayave Karya Masa Mantragya Sarvam Abhyudayochitam. Raja Dhammaghosh, Lord of Chedi, had also engaged Brahmins expert in chanting mantras to perform all rituals necessary to assure his son's prosperity. So Dhammaghosh is the father of Shishupal. So he's also getting everything auspicious. Even at that time, all the kings, they knew the purpose of wedding. It's a vivaha, it's a sanskar, it's a purificatory process. So they knew what's the purpose. So they had the Brahmins chanting the mantras and charity going on, yagyas going on, such an auspicious ceremony. And now what else goes on? Drinking, meat eating, all sorts of nonsense, songs, DJs, you name it, everything goes on in the name of wedding. And this is all Nonsense. It's such an auspicious, such a pure ceremony. मद अच्युत भिर्ग जना की जानी क्या स्यंदनेर हेममाल भी पति अश्व संकुल है सैन्य परिता कुंड दीनम ययो. King Damghosha traveled to Kundin, accompanied by armies of elephants exuding mother, chariots hung with golden chains, and numerous cavalry and infantry soldiers. Tamve Vidarbhadipati Sambhetya Abhipujcha Neveshya Masumuda Kalpitanya Aniveshine. Bhishmak, the lord of Vidarbha, came out of the city and met King Damghosh, offering him tokens of respect. Bhishmak then settled Damghosh in a residence specially constructed for the occasion. Tatra Shalvo Jarasandho Danta Vakro Viduratha Ajagama Ushchadya Pakshiya Pondra Kadya Sahasrasha. All these wonderful kings are there. Shishupal's supporters who were there, Shalva, Jarasandh, Dantavakra, and Vidurat, all came along with Pondrak and thousands of other kings. All these are demoniac kings. Those familiar with the history of Lord Krishna's life will immediately recognize the names given in this text. The kings mentioned here maintained a deep animosity towards Sri Krishna and opposed him in one way or another. But they were all to be frustrated and defeated on the occasion of Shishupal's would-be wedding. And who else came? Krishna Rama Dishoyatta Kanyam Chadyaya Saditum Yadyagatya Harit Krishna Rama Dhyar Yadubhir Vritaha Yotsyama Samhatastena Iti Nishchit Manasa Ajagmur Bhubhuja Sarve Sam Agra Balavahana. To secure the bride for Shishupal, the kings who envied Krishna and Balram came to the following decision among themselves. They had some inkling that Krishna would come. If Krishna comes here with Balram and the other Yadus to steal the bride, we shall band together and fight him. Thus those envious kings went to the wedding with their entire armies and a full complement of military conveyances. Wow. The word samhata, which normally means bound tightly together, may also mean thoroughly struck down or killed. Thus, although Krishna's enemies thought they were unified and strong, samhata in the former sense, they could not successfully oppose the personality of Godhead, and consequently, they would be struck down and killed. Shrutvetad Bhagwan Rama Vipakshiya Nripyodamam Krishnam Chakam Gatam Hartum Kanyam Kalha Shankita Balena Mahata Sartham Bhratri Sneha Pariplataha Tvarita Kundinam Bragad Gajashwarat Patibhi. When Lord Balram heard about these preparations of the inimical kings and how Lord Krishna had set off alone to steal the bride, he feared that a fight would ensue. Immersed in affection for his brother, he hurried to Kundin with a mighty army consisting of infantry and of soldiers riding on elephants, horses, and chariots. And somebody might say, all this just for a girl. Come on, what's the point? But this is Krishna's promise. Paritrana sadhuna vinasha chudushkrita. It is going to happen. And also, Rukmini ji is goddess of fortune. Krishna is the only person she can get married. So this is all a setting just to get rid of so many demons. Bhishma Kanya Vararoha Kangshantyat Gamanam Hare pratyapatiam apashyanti dijasya chintayat tata. The lovely daughter of Bhishma anxiously awaited the arrival of Krishna. But when she did not see the Brahman returning, she thought as follows. Ahotriya mantarita udvaho me alparadhasa nagachanti arvindaksho naham ved bhyatra karanam sopi navartate adyapi mat sandesha haro dvijaha. Princess Rukmini thought, alas, my wedding is to take place when the night ends. How unlucky I am. Lotus-eyed Krishna does not come. I don't even know why, and even the Brahman messenger has not yet returned. It is apparent from this verse, as confirmed by Srila Sridhar Swami, that the present scene takes place before sunrise. Api mayan vadyat drishva kinchit jugupsitam mat prapani grahane nunam nayati krityodamaha. Perhaps the faultless Lord, even while preparing to come here, saw something contemptible in me and therefore has not come to take my hand. Princess Rukmini boldly invited Shri Krishna to kidnap her. When Rukmini did not see him come, and she naturally feared that he had rejected her proposal, perhaps finding some unacceptable quality in her. As expressed here, the Lord himself is anvadya, faultless, and if he saw some fault in Rukmini, she would be an unworthy bride for him. It was natural for the young princess to feel such anxiety. Furthermore, if Shri Krishna had actually made this decision, it would be natural for the Brahman to fear Rukmini's reaction were he to bring her the news, and that would explain why he had not come. So she is waiting for the Brahman and all these thoughts going through her mind. Durbhagaya name dhata nanukula maheshwara devi va vimukhi gauri rudrani girijasati. I'm extremely unfortunate, for the Creator is not favorably disposed towards me, nor is the great Lord Shiva, or perhaps Shiva's wife Devi, who is known as Gauri, Rudrani, Girija, and Sati, has turned against me. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Rukmini might have thought, even if Krishna wanted to come, he might have been stopped on the path by the Creator Brahma, who's not favorably inclined towards me. But why should he be unfavorable? Perhaps it's Maheshwara, Lord Shiva, whom on some occasion I did not properly worship and who thus became angry with me. But he is Maheshwara, the great controller, so why would he be angry with such an insignificant, foolish girl as me? So many thoughts going on in her mind because Krishna didn't show up so far. Or then she thinks, perhaps it is Shiva's wife, Gauri, who's displeased, though I worship her every day. Alas, alas, how I have offended her so that she has turned against me. But after all, she is Rudrani, the wife of Rudra. The very name means one who makes everyone cry. So perhaps she and Shiva want me to cry. But seeing that I am so miserable, about to give up my life, why don't they soften their attitude? The reason must be that Goddess Devi is also Girija, an adopted daughter. So why should she be soft-hearted? Because she is Girija, a daughter of a mountain, Giri. So mountains are very hard. So she's saying, why would she be soft-hearted? She will be very hard-hearted. In her incarnation as Sati, she gave up her body. So perhaps she now wants me to give up my body as well. Thus, Acharya, with realized poetic sensitivity, interprets the various names used in this verse. And also she was also thinking that she is Girija, means a daughter of the mountain, and mountains are always covered with snow. The peaks are covered with snow. So maybe she's also cold as the snow. She has no warmth in her. So why would she think of my distress right now? Evam chintayati bala govinda hritamana niyamileyat kalagya Netre Chashru Kalakule. As she thought in this way, the young maiden whose mind had been stolen by Krishna closed her tear-filled eyes, remembering that there was still time. There's still time. Srila Sridhar Swami explains the word Kalagya as follows. Rukmini thought, it's not even the right time yet for Govinda to come, and thus she felt a bit consoled. Evam vadva pratikshantya Govinda kavanam nirvana vam urur bhujo netram asfuran priya bhashina. O king, as a bride thus awaited the arrival of Govinda, she felt a twitch in her left thigh, arm, and eye. This was a sign that something desirable would happen. So I've read that for ladies, it's a left side. If it twitches, it's auspicious or something desirable, and for male, it's the right side. If something happens, like if the eye is twitching, or the thigh, or the arm, just some signs given by nature. Atha Krishna Vinirtishta Saeva Dvijasattamanta Puracharim Devim Rajaputrim Tadarshaha. Just then the purest of learned Brahmins, following Krishna's order, came to see the divine princess Rukmini within the inner chambers of the palace. According to Srila Sridhar Swami, Shri Krishna had reached the gardens outside the city, and out of concern for Rukmini, he had instructed the Brahman to go tell her of his arrival. So this is the painting behind me backdrop. Brahman is coming and Rukmini Devi is seeing that Brahman, and then she felt happy. Satam prahrishta vadanam avyagrat gatim sati alaksha lakshana vigya samprichachu chismita. Noting the Brahman's joyful face and serene movements, saintly Rukmini, who could expertly interpret such symptoms, inquired from him with a pure smile. Tasya avedyat praptam shashansa yadunandanam uktam cha satya vachanam atmopanayanam prati. The Brahman announced to her the arrival of Lord Yadunandan and relayed the Lord's promise to marry her. Samagatam samagyaya vadarvi harishtamanasa na pashyanti brahmanaya priyamanyananasa. Princess Vadarvi was overjoyed to learn of Krishna's arrival. Not finding anything at hand suitable to offer the Brahman, she simply bowed down to him. Prapto shrutva svaduhita udvaha prekshanotsuko abhyayaturya ghoshena Ramakrishna samarhane. The king, upon hearing that Krishna and Balram had come and were eager to witness his daughter's wedding, went forth with abundant offerings to greet them as music resounded. So by that time, Balramji had also come, joined Krishna along with the Yadav army, and King Bhishmak went to welcome them. Madhu Parkamupaniya Vasansi Vrajansi Saho Payananya Bhishtani Vidivat Samapujayat. Presenting them with Madhupark, new clothing, and other desirable gifts, he worshipped them according to standard rituals. Tayor Niveshanam Shri Madhupakalpe Mahamati Sasanyayo Sanubhyor Atityam Vitadeyatha. Generous King Bhishmak arranged opulent accommodations for the two lords and also for their army and entourage. In this way, he afforded them proper hospitality. Evam ragyam sametanam yatha viryam yatha vaya yatha balam yatha vittam sarvai kama samarhayat. Thus it was that Bhishmak gave all desirable things to the kings who had assembled for the occasion, honoring them as befitted the political power, age, physical prowess, and wealth. So he welcomed everybody according to their respective positions. Krishnam agatam akarnya vidarbhapur vasina agatya netranjali bhi papustan mukh pankajam. When the residents of Vidarbhapura heard that Lord Krishna had come, they all went to see him. With the cupped palms of their eyes, they drank the honey of his lotus face. So they just saw how charming, how beautiful Krishna is, and they just wanted to drink the honey of his lotus face by their eyes. अस्यैव भार्य भवितुं रुक्मणी अर्हति नापरा असाव प्रियं वद्यात्मा भैष्म्या समुचिता पतिः. The people of the city said, Rukmini and no one else deserves to become his wife, and he also, possessing such flawless beauty, is the only suitable husband for Princess Bhashmi or Bhishmak's daughter. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, this text combines the statements made by different citizens. Some pointed out that Rukmini was a suitable wife for Krishna. Others said that no one else was suitable. Similarly, some stated that Krishna was most suitable for Rukmini, and others stated that no one else could be a suitable husband for her. So similar statements were made when Lord Ram went to Janakpur. When they saw Ram, everybody thought he is the one who should marry Sita, not anybody else. So same thing here, all this Vidarbhapuri Vasi, they're thinking Krishna is a perfect match for Rukmini, and Rukmini is a perfect match for Krishna. So anyway, I guess tomorrow they'll get married. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments? And actually, it's amazing. Tomorrow is Ekadashi, and I think for India it's today. For here it's tomorrow. And actually, it is said that Krishna Rukmini marriage happened on Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi, and that is why in Jagannath Puri on Nirjala Ekadashi, Lord Jagannath marries Lakshmi Ji. There's a big ceremony of their wedding on Ekadashi day. Of course, in Jagannath Puri, he doesn't observe, nobody observes Ekadashi, but it's just a special day, and that is the day they got married. Okay, so I guess we can stop here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.